Hitler also revised history, and in Hitler's case, erased part of his own past. On March 11, 1938, enthusiastic crowds greeted the Führer as he annexed Austria and made it part of the Third Reich. But Hitler had another very personal agenda. Once Austria belonged to Hitler, he took steps to eradicate any suspicion of his Jewish past.
One thing Hitler, from the very beginning, sought to do was to cover up the evidence of his past. And so, by doing so, he caused a lot of rumors and myths to be projected upon the blank space of the past that he tried to erase.
Hitler eradicated the Austrian village of Dollersheim and a dark secret that haunted him for years. The birth registry of Dollersheim held the birth certificate of his father, who Hitler suspected was the illegitimate son of a Jew.
This report is elaborate fiction. The commission was led under Philip Zelikow, a member of the Bush team by association. He authored a book with Condoleezza Rice and was the head person in charge of all informational distribution and allocation. Members of the commission are on record describing the power of this individual and dominance of the instigation. This commission was not independent. Among many absurd omissions and distortions, the first to note is that the commission doesn't even mention building number 7, which fell in 6 seconds, without a plane or jet fuel being involved. The reason they omitted this is because there is no realistic way to describe this collapse other than controlled demolition. Secondly, in order to support the claim that the pancake collapse was the phenomenon to define the collapse of the World Trade Center 1 and 2, they say that the core of the buildings were a hollow steel shaft. Run. The World Trade Center had 47 massive steel columns, which, if the pancake collapse had occurred, would have been sticking up in the air after the floors had fallen. Thirdly, the commission totally omits incriminating evidence and testimony such as William Rodriguez, an employee of the WTC for 20 years. He explains to them that he experienced an explosion in the basement 3 to 4 seconds before the first plane hit, and while he was rescuing people in the tower, he heard and felt dozens of explosions in the building before the collapse. There are well over 50 documented accounts of firefighters/witnesses and rescue workers who say they saw and heard massive explosions coming from the buildings. They also don't include testimony by Norman Mineta, former Secretary of Transportation, who describes how Cheney was in the emergency bunker under the White House at 9:25, many minutes before the Pentagon was struck. His testimony dictates that Cheney was in charge of NORAD shoot-down orders and was aware Flight 77 as far as 50 miles. The 911 Commission claims Cheney wasn't in the White House till after 10 a.m. You can see Mineta's testimony on span coverage. The 911 com just lies about it. Fourth, Bush and Cheney testified together, not under oath. No recording and any notes had to be approved by the White House before leaving the room. Bear in mind, only $14 million was spent on this investigation, while $100 million was spent on Clinton's sexual escapades. This panel was as credible and accurate as the Warren Commission. I could go on for pages. Hey guys, have more watch. I have been reading your site back and forth between his site for a while. It's entertaining to say the least. It was announced today that Dick himself allowed Libby to leak the CIA member's name in retaliation for and to cover up all the lies about Iraq. I'm sure, as are you, the left-wing Democrats, and the rest of the pussy liberals will roll over and they, the Bush admin, will not be held accountable, nor had they been accountable for anything, including dating back to the big whopper that started all this mess, the knowledge and aid to help 9/11 be set in motion to make sure this new war could be set in motion. For those who don't believe it, just look up Walt Howitz's doctrine from 1992. It's not a translation, like say, a Bible verse, it's a fact in black and white. The sky is blue, and this 9/11 aid from Bush and Cheney is true. It was a long, hard plan, but one well worth it. And it's still working beautifully today. I have to hand it to you all, the right wing, for consistently winning over and over. You always win, no matter how obviously criminal or genocidal. What gets me more than ever is that you have all still managed to convince yourselves and the public that you are the strong, superior ones, the ones that do and know right, not to mention all this moral right you keep crooning out. Again, congrats. And the fact that the rest of the country believes the funneling of pure bullshit spewing from all orifices proves again and again how miserable this country really has become. America was once a decent place, but like Rome, every empire falls, and it's hanging by a thread. I must say, for a group of people on a mission, not to mention a God's mission, you are proving yourself more and more successful. The Democrats and the left wing don't stand a chance, because you have the biggest advantage, the American majority. And the American majority is bovine, dog, patch, cattle, sheep. As long as they can make it to Walmart, they could care less.